Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negro. Now, for the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with this channel or are watching this channel for the very first time, the reason why it is called Uncommon Sense because here on this platform, we discuss everyday issues where we try to seek logical solutions. But not everyone uses logic. For that reason, it is called uncommon sense. I want to let everybody know that right now we're currently live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. And I see here we have a couple of comments, okay? And I see here that yes, Don Armando, you are the first one to be here. And I just want to say thank you very much. And I just want to let everybody know that Don Armando has his own YouTube channel. So I'm going to ask that if you have not had the opportunity, please subscribe and check out his content. First of all, I want to give a huge shout out to all the people who have already subscribed to my channel. I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who follow me on social media. I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who allowed me to enter in your devices. Now, I'm going to ask that if you have not done so, please subscribe, like, and hit the bell notification to all. So, therefore, whenever I do prepare content, you will have the opportunity to either catch it live or catch it on the playback. I also want to let everybody know that the subscriber mode is on now, meaning that if you wish to leave a comment and you're not a subscriber, you need to subscribe to the channel. Okay. Now, tonight's episode of Uncommon Sense is going to be a little different because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be discussing an unpopular opinion. And what is that unpopular opinion? Why I don't observe Halloween. Now, before I continue, let me make this perfectly clear. I am not criticizing anyone that does, okay? If you choose to observe Halloween, that's perfectly fine, okay? What I'm trying to do is start a conversation going regarding this topic. And I'm sure that for those of you who observe Halloween will come up with many reasons why. I'm just going to share some reasons why I don't. And it's perfectly okay if we do disagree. Now, before we get into the main topic, we're going to have another issue of what the heck. Okay. Now, as most of you know, I have an active Instagram account. Now, what I do with my Instagram account, I will post off many articles and videos and whatnot. I also use Instagram to send a notification regarding my upcoming streams to the people that I follow and who follow me. However, for some crazy absurd reason, I receive a notification that my Instagram account has been suspended for 30 days for some unknown reason. And of course, I'm trying to figure out why. And I was not able to do so. So what I did was I created another Instagram account, which is cute1064. Now, for some strange observed reason, my Instagram account became active again. Now, I don't know why this happened. I don't know who did this. Maybe it was a Halloween prank of some sort, or maybe someone doing some witchcraft, or what have you. I do not know. What I do know is I'm happy to say that my Instagram account is currently active. And it seems like this has happened to other people for whatever reason. Okay, so I do not know why, but be it as it may. I mean, weirder things have happened, and it is what it is. Now, what I'm going to do is, in a moment, I'm going to drop the link. Should anybody wishes to join the panel, they may do so. Now, before we get into the topic, I need to go over again the rules as it pertains to the channel. Okay. Rule number 1. Do not talk me or anyone on the panel. Number 1. Number 2. Don't disrespect anyone on the panel or on the chat. And number 3, if you use as your avatar intimate parts of the human anatomy, you will be banned and you will be blocked. It is that simple. And I see here we got a couple comments. Zuckerberg is an idiot. I don't know. He's a billionaire, so who knows. And I see here we also have the president of Isabela de España. Buenas noches. Me alegro que está con nosotros. Yo sé que muy tarde allí en el Reino Unido, pero sin embargo agradezco su presencia aquí en esta plataforma. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to get into the discussion. What is Halloween? Okay, because here on this platform, we don't just talk about stuff, we explain it, okay? And I see there's currently 4 people viewing the stream. I just want to say thank you very much. First of all, Halloween, or All Hallows Eve, is a celebration observed in many countries on October the 31st, the eve on Western Christian feast of All Hallows Day. It begins the observance of All Hallow Tide, the time in the liturgy year dedicated to remember the dead, including saints, hallows, martyrs, and all the departed. Okay. Now, what happened was, during the course of time, All Hallows Eve became known as Halloween. One theory holds that many Halloween traditions are influenced by Celtic harvest festivals, particularly the Gaelic festival of Samhain, which is believed to have pagan roots. Some go further to suggest that Samhain may have been Christianized as All Hallows Day, along with its eve, by the early church. Other academics believe Halloween began solely as a Christian holiday, being the virtue of All Hallows Day. Celebrating in Ireland and Scotland for centuries, Irish and Scottish immigrants took many Halloween customs to North America in the 19th century, and even though through American influence has spread to other countries in the late 20th and 21st centuries. Now, these are some of the activities dealing with Halloween. They include trick-or-treating, or to the related guessing and solving, attending Halloween costume parties, carving pumpkins or turnips into jack-o'-lanterns, lighting bonfires, apple bobbing, divination games, playing pranks, visiting haunted attractions, telling scary stories, and watching horror or Halloween-themed films. And we have another comment, which is, Being Gracias, I don't celebrate Halloween like that, and I don't take my daughter trick-or-treating or let them get some candy or just buy for them, and my husband would take. You know what? That sounds like a good idea. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is, first of all, let me just continue reading. Some of the people practice the Christian religious observance of All Hallows Eve, including attending church services, lighting candles on the graves of the dead, although it is a sacred celebration for us. Some Christians historically abstain from all meat on All Hallows Eve, a tradition that reflected on eating certain vegetarian foods on the visual day, including apple, potato pancakes, and salt cakes. Okay, so basically um, that's what actually Halloween is. Now I'm going to give you some points on why I don't observe Halloween or All Hallows Eve, or as I prefer to call it, Satan Glorification Day. Okay. First of all, it's a pagan holiday. Now, what do I mean by that? First of all, many of the customs celebrated on Halloween has its roots in pagan custom and pagan lore. Okay. Number two, many of the customs are from pagan sources. Okay, first of all, let's take a look at the custom of wearing costumes. Okay. Now, the Druids, centuries ago, would wear outfits and costumes, so therefore the evil spirits would not harm them. Okay. Also, there's another custom of Halloween, which is trick or treat. That is the custom when kids go dressed up in all sorts of different characters. They knock on people's door and they say trick or treat. Okay, that was a Druid custom of offering food and other edible items to demon spirits in order to prevent them from doing them any harm. Okay, so that kind of gives you an idea why I don't observe Halloween. Another reason why I don't observe Halloween, it is because for those who practice witchcraft, it is a major holiday. Okay? In fact, if you listen to the testimonies of individuals who were Satanists or priests in the Church of Satan, they will tell you that they'll tell you that Halloween is as big as a day as Christmas or Easter or what have you. Another reason why I choose not to observe Halloween, because unfortunately, and this is a sad thing, Sikh people use this day to harm children. And what do I mean by that? Unfortunately, we have heard stories of people, sick, demented people, putting pieces of glass, razor blades, and other poison stuff in candy in order to harm them. And sometimes what they do is they use candy to lure children to kidnap them. Okay. Another reason why I do not observe Halloween, that there is divination involved. One of the key habits is using Ouija boards. Now, I don't know a lot about it, but that's the type of divination, and that's something that could be very dangerous because what you're doing is you're actually playing with the demonic, and you are opening a door for demonic activity to enter into your home if you decide to play Ouija boards and whatever, and fortune telling and things of that nature. And of course, we need to talk about the fact that they use jack o' lanterns. Okay. Now, the jack o' lanterns, what they are lanterns made in the form of a pumpkin, and it's all that to dispel evil spirits. Okay. And of course, as I stated before, uh, many discussions come from the Druids. And I see we have another comment. Sí, José. Exactamente. Porque ese festival es un festival pagano, el Día de los Brujos, cuando Satanás sea glorificado. Sin embargo, hay personas que no entienden eso. So what I said, unfortunately, when you allow your children to observe Halloween, you're exposing your children to demonic activity. Okay. And of course, another habit regarding Halloween is seances. And what are seances? It's an attempt to try to communicate with the dead. Okay. Now, why people wish to do that, I don't know. I wish I knew. But, everyone is free to do whatever they wish. And I see here we have the presence of the lovely and beautiful Christina. Good evening. Thank you very much for stopping by. It's been a long time since we've seen you here. I do want to let everybody know that Christina also has her YouTube channel called Viva by Christina. I know that she does not post a lot of stuff, has not posted a lot of stuff there lately, but she does have a great deal of material. Some of it is cultural, some of it is educational, some of it is has to do with images from the Dominican Republic. So I'm going to ask you all to do, if you have not done so, please subscribe to her channel and check out her content. And just to let everybody know, the reason for tonight's stream is I am discussing the reasons why I don't observe Halloween. Again, as I said it before, I don't observe Halloween, but I don't criticize those that do. Okay. And I see here we have a comment here, which is, yes, it's been a while. Funny topics. I'm currently dealing with my oldest crying because I didn't take her trick or treat. Yeah, you know what? It could be hard not be able to go trick or treating when you see all your friends out there. So I can just imagine the grief that you're going through. I don't know if that's by your choice, or you just simply were too busy, or you're not into this Halloween stuff. I don't think Halloween is a big holiday in the DR. I don't know. Okay. You know what? I didn't know that about you, but I do know that there are quite a few parents that have issues going with trick or treating. Okay. Yeah, that's true. That's true, because believe it or not, and I know people are gonna say that I'm off my rocker and what have you, is that for those who are into witchcraft, that's into Wicca, that's Satanist. It is their big holiday. And I see here we have another comment. Yes, I really don't celebrate Halloween like that, but I mean, I don't want my daughters to get hurt, and I watch over the candy and I try to protect it as best as I can as a mother. Okay. Now, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be discussing if you're going to celebrate this holiday, try to do it safely. So, okay, so the whole point is not just for me to bash Halloween. What it is to explain, if you're going to observe Halloween, how to do it in a safe way. Okay, so this is not going to be criticizing all the time, but I'm just giving you my reasons why. Now, another reason why I don't observe Halloween, because it's the day when people pull pranks. And what type of pranks I'm talking about? Covering apart buildings with toilet paper or chalk or soap and what have you, or doing crank phone calls and what have you. So, so basically, it's also a day of mischief. Okay. Now I know here in New York we have the Halloween parade over on the village. I have never gone there, and if you go there, that's fine. I'm not gonna say okay. Okay. Also, another reason why I don't observe Halloween is because of the scary movies. And the fact of the matter is, I mean, we have seen all types of scary movies. We have seen Cujo, we have seen Damien, we have seen, I mean, I don't know, we've seen all different types of Halloween movies. And then what people do is they see these movies and then they get scared half to death and then what have you. So okay, so I'm just catching up on some of these. Okay, so and again, like I said before, that is my choice. Okay, so I made it a point. You know what? After arriving home, uh, not to go out, and I see Donovan says the Halloween franchise is whack. Well, look, the reason why all those movies are popular is because people love to see horror movies. That's all. I mean, it's a reality. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, one movie that I recall was 13 Ghosts. And what it is, you have 13 different ghosts and what have you. Some of them were cute, some of them were funny, and some of them was downright scaring the bejesus out of you. Okay. And another thing to bear in mind is you can open yourself to demonic activity, particularly if you involve with Ouija boards and seances and whatnot. Now, what I did was I put the link in the chat, okay? And let's see. And before I let my guest in, I want to let everybody know that the views of those who appear on the panel are not necessarily those of the host of the channel. Any attempt to copy the material without the permission of the host or the channel is prohibited. By appearing on the call, you waive your rights to your image. Some of the views that people might hold might be offensive to some viewers. If you don't like the content, you can block the channel. And let's see if we can bring in guests. Hopefully, it would not be a specter.
Okay. I can show you the world.
Good evening, Don Armando.
How you doing, Don Jose?
I'm doing fine. Just to give you, um, to catch up the speed. I'm just sharing with everybody why I don't observe Halloween. And again, I know I've said this a couple of times, but I need to repeat it. If you choose to observe Halloween, that's fine. I choose not to. Now, what I'm going to be doing, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, well, I used to observe Halloween, but then after I got deeper, um, after I found out the true meaning of it, I don't really care for it. And I was gonna go to the gym tonight, but then it was a good thing that I just stayed home, and me and my wife we were just talking about that because Halloween. Well, certain people don't know, but you know, I just don't celebrate it after I found the real reason for it. So that's just me.
No, yeah.
And shout
Now,
and shout out to Xtina and Isabella.
yes. You know what? It's been a long time since we've been blessed by the presence of Extina, and I really appreciate it very much. And I know that she went through a little bit of grief because her daughter wanted to go trick or treating, and she didn't feel too comfortable about it. So,
I I
um,
I understand that. Yeah.
because unfortunately, children they don't understand that. All they know is their friends are going out there getting a whole big bag of candy, and they can't do the same thing. So, but now what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to share with you if you insisting of observing Halloween is to do it safely, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. And all my friends said, why not? and, and of course, we have Isabel saying, I don't mess with Diablo games. Oh,
Yeah. It was like at first when I was younger, yeah, I went to I thought it was all fun, you just wearing your costumes or whatever. But I never really but the thing is though, when I was a kid, I was never really exposed to how, like horror movies like that. So, you know, after I was like a teenager and stuff, I actually thought it was crap. I mean, the horror movies because they always had like the same thing. It wasn't really like how should I say like interested in my thing. I'm talking about the old school horrors and the new school horrors. It
yeah,
was just always the same thing: murder, death, kill. They have in certain thing if they even have a plot, it's like okay, a young couple actually engaging in well making out or whatever in the first days of teenager, and then they get killed, or it's like kids in the wood or something like that, and then it turns into a horror or a masked killer or something like that. After a while,
yeah.
I just thought of it as whack. And certain people they love horror, but me, I guess since I wasn't really brought up with it, or my my parents was didn't they shielded me from it, to tell you the truth. I never really get into horror like that, and where people be putting their masks and all the other stuff. So I can really get into it.
Okay.
So after
Yeah.
so after a while,
Let me Yeah, excuse me. Let me just welcome the 18th letter. And before we do that, I just want to let everybody know that both Don Armando and the 18th letter also have YouTube channels. So, what I'm going to ask the audience to do, if you have not done so, please subscribe to their channels and check out their content. Good evening, Rakim.
Shout out to my YouTube dad, Jose Negron. Shout out to Don. And shout out to my struggle channel. So,
Hey,
how's
eight,
everybody been doing, fellas?
18th. Do you got my WhatsApp number?
Yeah. You know what? I sure do. I sure do, Don. I
All
remember
right,
you gave it to.
cause hit me up because we got to talk something about back in the scene. So I'll try to if you know anybody that's into rap or something like that, or they trying to get their name across, tell them to come to my channel also, so therefore I could at least interview them about their movements or stuff, black or Latino. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Absolutely. And I know quite a few people on both ends.
I but
Okay. I just want to highlight a comment in Spain. They celebrate this day called El Dia de los Muertos, which is known as the Day of the Dead. Actually, it's also celebrated in Mexico. So, Joaquin, tonight we're talking about why I choose not to observe Halloween. So, what's your thoughts on the topic?
Well, me personally, I feel no ways about it. To be honest, I've been working so much, man. I don't know whether I'm coming or going. So I forgot it was Halloween today. I'm thinking of somebody at my doorbell, man. To see me, I open the door. The kids like trick or treat. I'm like, I don't have no candy, kids. I'm sorry, man. Them kids looked at me like I was sorry, man. They like, man, you old sorry old dude, man. We gonna go to the next house though. I was just like, oh man, you know what? I'm gonna just ignore the doorbell for the rest of the night. Um, but me personally, I used to celebrate Halloween as a kid. It was pretty cool to me. Like I just looked at it as a day of just dressing up in costumes, horror movies, different things like that. With my American education, I'm pretty ignorant on the history of Halloween. Just like kind of like one of those things with Thanksgiving. Everybody celebrate Thanksgiving, but we don't know the dark history behind Thanksgiving. Well, most of us do now, but yeah. So like I do think that if people that are more in tune with their religious side, I definitely understand. As a kid, I didn't because I didn't know the origins of Halloween, but now I definitely understand as an adult. And there's some people that just, they don't believe in Halloween, they don't celebrate it, and I think and I respect that. And for the people that look at it as just another day, go out, enjoy yourselves. I'm pretty indifferent to it myself.
Okay. Well, I mean, look, I'm not gonna lie. I used to observe Halloween as well, but later on, I learned some of the things, and then I decided for myself not to observe it. And then, in the same time, um, I don't condemn or I don't criticize those that do. I mean, it's their own individual choices. Now, what I will talk about is if you're going to observe Halloween, the key is to do it safely. Would you guys agree with that?
yeah.
Absolutely. I wanted to say shout out to Tina. Shout out to you, Tina, in the chat because one comment that she said she believes is like spiritual energy. Um, One thing I know, you know, we all got our beliefs and different things like that. One of my personal beliefs is apart from it can be heaven and hell in deletion, it can also be heaven and hell on earth. And you have evil. Some people are just evil. They're just walking
Hmm.
this earth. That that can be look at to do horrible things at this on this day. Prey on children. We all know. We all grew up in the inner city, so we all heard the stories of make sure you watch the candy because people put razor blades in the candy and different things like that. Like just sick people. So I think it's very important to keep your kids close and if you decide to take them out, then take them out to enjoy themselves. But man, you really got to be careful these days. You can just get kids candy and say stay in the house. because like it can be it's I don't know, man. It just seems like people are getting more and more what's the word I'm looking for? Detached these days, and have a lack of what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of
Accountability.
the word. No,
Or
no, it's like
morals.
just have a lack of morality, but a lack of I don't know. I would just say detached. They just detach from human emotion these days of like what's right and what's wrong, like or having any type of conscience. Some of these people these days,
Yeah.
so you have to
Amoral.
really be, huh?
Amoral.
No, desensitized. That's the word I'm looking for. They just like really desensitized from human emotion on what's right and what's wrong. And I think the internet has done that over time. So like, you have these people that, they'll do something sick and think everything is a TikTok video. So, you gotta really watch some of these people.
Yeah. Well, first of all, let's discuss some of the. I mean, if you're going to observe Halloween, the key is to do it safely. Number one, and this is very important. Do not allow your children to go trick or treating without responsible adult supervision. Because I mean, look, you never know who you might approach. Okay, so it's very important that if you have like a group of children, that you have at least one responsible adult to go there. Number one. Number two, do not allow the children to eat any candy until they get home, where a responsible adult can look at the candy and make sure that the candy has not been tampered, because there's a lot of horror stories regarding children being exposed to candy that have pieces of glass that has drugs or what have you. Any remarks?
Yeah, I remember there was when I was living down south. I remember that there was I remember there was a case be that was with kids. I think they were putting. I think it was either they were putting IV needles or something like that, and then the man got caught because he wanted to infect kids or something like that. I think it was something like it was like when I was a kid down south,
Hmm.
and I heard this about New York.
Yeah.
So it was it was very disheartening. So the way that I when I was living down south and I went to and we had like a sort of trick or treating is that my aunt used to take me to like the mall and everybody they just you just went around the corner and gave candy. But then after I turned 12 and everything like that, Halloween actually started to look like a joke.
Hmm.
So, you know,
Yeah.
I could say that if you're gonna go to trick or treat or anything like that, I suggest the best thing to do is to go to where like malls or stuff is at because not a lot of people in malls are going to. I'm just saying historically are going to go and give are going to go harm kids or give them bad candy because that would be bad for business and also that would be breaking the law.
Hmm.
So I'm just saying the mall is a safe setting because people could actually watch their kids, etc. If they choose to
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah. Rakim, your thoughts?
I feel the exact same way. I feel the exact same way. We just gotta understand. Kids are precious and kids are innocent. They don't understand the weight of the world that us as adults understand. And we have to remember at one point we was those kids. And there's a lot of things that we've seen that shaped our mentality to be what it is today. Um, you definitely have to keep your kids close. I can remember a time, matter of fact, in Halloween 2011, this was years ago, but this was 2011. One of my old neighborhoods where I got family at, my cousin, he was taking my little cousins, which was his kids, and some of my other cousins' kids, his brothers, trick or treating, and they was getting ready. And the way that some of these houses are set up here, they didn't like they couldn't. He was in a gangway, and I think he was grabbing something like out of the garage and everything, and so he had them waiting like right there in the front, and he was telling me that it was this dude. He was pulling up like with a mask on or whatever. I think it was a screen mask, talking about hey kids, y'all looking for candy? I got some candy. Y'all want some candy? And he said he just came from out there. He didn't know that they was with adults, and he just peeked out and he was like, "Yeah, I got 33 rounds of hot lava candy. You want a piece?" Yeah, and he said the dude just looked at him and he just like pulled off and just skirted down the block. And then he was telling me that when I went over there later on the next day. So that's very important. That's very important to understand, is that you have to keep these kids close, because it's just sick people out here that want to do harm like to innocent children. Like it's people like that. It's people like that. This, like I said, this world, you got a lot of sick people. So I advise to keep the kids close. Like I said, if you want to, like what you guys were saying, take them to a mall, a party, or something like that. But I don't know. And depending on what areas that you at, I don't know.
I mean,
Well, go ahead.
I mean, when I was older and everything like that, and people were into they were doing whatever, right? They had the Halloween party or whatsoever. I never really went there because back in those days the village was a known, let's just say it was a known Skittle spot, and I was not trying to go there because the way that laws are set up in New York, you could actually if a person tried to come on to you, you may not like it, and if the person persists on disrespecting you, you might have to defend yourself. And then when you do defend yourself, not only you're catching an assault charge, you're catching a hate crime charge also. So in order to avoid that, because what a lot of people don't know is that people at those times, I'm talking about like maybe the late '90s and early 2000s, certain people are not the way that they are now. For example, certain people were disrespectful, or they try to force their will or their way towards a person, whatever they was. And when a person was offended, you had to defend yourself. Nowadays, you have a certain subsection of that, but then if you do defend yourself, not only you're facing an assault charge, you're also facing a hate crime charge. So,
Mhm.
so
Yeah.
that's why when I was like 16 and such, I didn't really have a good reservation of going to that parade. As as my sister, she loves the parade. Me, I will not be caught dead in the area in Greenwich Village. That's just me.
Yeah. Now, one thing, if you are, and I'm glad that you're mentioning this. I mean, if you are gonna go trick or treating, um, it's best to go to like businesses like stores or what have you, escorted with a responsible adult. Okay, because at least that way you know that for the most part they're safe places to go and partake in trick or treating. And make sure you do it when it's still sunlight. Okay,
Yeah,
because a lot of crazy stuff can go down after dark. Okay.
No, not really. I'm going to tell you, I've seen crazy stuff that go on day and night. So therefore, it depends on
Facts, facts.
yeah, yeah. Nah, for real though. Like for example, like back in the day in the Bronx, right? Bronx, NYC, or anything like that. And this happened, and I don't know if it's happening right now. We partake,
Mm-hmm.
but for a certain street organization, this was or still is initiation night.
Yeah, slashing people with razors. I heard about that.
I mean, yeah, that was 98, but now it's like, but now I guess they graduated it to just shooting people or something like that. Because
Mm-hmm.
when I was in Jersey, right, those these there was the street organization, they were telling me like, yo, like they had a different thing each year, right? So therefore they were attacking women. So there was like 30. The thing is though, there was like there had to be 31 women shot, 31 women killed, and 31 women raped or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
This was like around '07 and '08.
Okay.
So at the time when I was living in Jersey City, I had to tell my lady at that time that you're not going out of this crib, because that was when they used to send text messages what's gonna happen or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So after, I'll say, November 1st or November 2nd, right? I met with the guy who's part of that organization. So we were just talking and everything like that. He was like, yeah, I was just chilling around and everything like that. And I saw a guy push a chick's wig back with a 45 on Halloween. I was like, dag.
Okay. I just want to acknowledge the fact that Reese from Philly is in the chat and also Keisha as well. And I just want to let everybody know that both individuals, they both have YouTube channels. So I'm gonna ask that if you have not done so, please subscribe and check out their content. I'm happy to say, guys, that now I have a community tab. So I've been using that quite a bit. And Rakim, if you like, what I can do is whenever you do have a stream, if it's okay with you, I could always post it on my community tab to try to let my audience know regarding your upcoming streams.
Oh, thank you so much, Jose. I just wanted to say shout out to Reese and shout out to my homegirl, Cashel, the Bronx's own. Um, and yeah, definitely. Like my last stream and went a little bit long. That's what I call a slingshot stream. But I won't be, of course, like it's certain things that I want to discuss on my channel, but I won't be making it everything about race, anything, all of the time, because we've all been in this community for quite a long time, and that conversation has run its course. And
Yeah,
it's just so much toxicity online that I want my streams also to be where we can discuss things like relationships or interactions with people, having a good time, cultural music and different things like that. Of course, I'm going to touch on serious topics, but it's going to be a blend of everything. But yeah, I don't want to make um we need to have a space where it's not too many toxic people, so I want to make my channel like that.
got
Yeah.
you.
Well, now that I have a community tab, what I want to do is I also want to help out those YouTube creators who have not had a community tab because when you are um, small, well, actually, well, small. I mean, it could be a challenge to get noticed. So now that I happen to be blessed with a community tab, I can help other people as well to make them known to everyone in these YouTube streets.
Absolutely, absolutely. Shout out to you, Kate Fit. Thank you very much for watching my stream, and shout out to everybody that came and participated. Shout out to yourself, my YouTube dad, Jose Nagron. Shout out to Tina that was in the chat and everybody that was watching. I really appreciate you guys coming through. Um, like I said, we just went on, and I kind of forced myself to do that one because I was kind of tired, man. I had just got off the road like about 5 hours ago, but I had said, I was, wasn't going to keep putting it off. So I was like, man, let me just get this started, shoot from the hip. But later on, as the more and more I learn about StreamYard technology, the more they'll become a little bit more organized and different things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but one thing I was happy to see that as I'm on my way home and I see children going into different businesses, different stores to trick or treat, I was happy to see that they were all escorted by what appeared to be responsible adults.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. That's what it's about,
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
Yeah.
We gotta
Yeah. Talking about
one thing.
holidays. What you doing for Thanksgiving? 18th letter.
Hey man, I might stop at my granddad's house. Shout out to my old man, my granddad. I think I'm gonna go over there for Thanksgiving, or I might cook a little something here at my house. But for the most part, I think I'm gonna be going to my granddad's house for Thanksgiving. A lot of my family is gonna be over there, so we're gonna kick back. You know, have some soul food, play the souls sounds of blackness soul holidays, and have a good time.
Oh yeah. Don't forget to play some Lucio Bogman till the cows come home. That's a classic.
I definitely will, man. I'm gonna make sure to make a note of that.
Yeah.
Definitely. But yeah, like the one thing I do love about this time of the year, I don't know about anybody in the chat, anybody up here, but I'm a big fan of pumpkin everything, man. Like I eat sweet potato pie, not pumpkin pie, but everything other than that. Like I like my pumpkin lattes, I like my pumpkin milkshakes, I like my pumpkin cookies. I like a lot of that pumpkin stuff that be going on at this time of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, I do love pumpkin pies and whatnot. Now, I never tried the pumpkin spice, so I need to do that. But seems like I heard every time that people ask for it, it's always not available. Is it because so many people enjoy it?
Yeah, I mean in Philadelphia, I guess it's an abundance of pumpkin everything because it's like pumpkin lattes and whatsoever. And it's a high abundance of it right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too, Cashel. I love I just be loving those pastries in the fall. I really do. And I know I shouldn't be eating a lot of them because that sugar and everything, but man, sometimes I just can't help myself.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
yeah.
yeah,
Well,
I might eat some there, but I don't really try to overindulge in that.
yeah. I'll probably spend Thanksgiving with one of my siblings. It's just it's not the same since more than half my family have died. So it's but you know what? It helps me to appreciate the siblings I have left.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like I'm trying to see if I'm gonna go to my sister's house or my cousin's house. So it's like, you know, it's like okay, where we're gonna go on that day. So it just It's just I have to talk to my sister more about that because I'm gonna be coming into the city that day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you guys believe that earlier today my Instagram account was suspended?
Nah, that happened to as I said, I knew a whole bunch of friends that actually happened to today. I guess it
Hmm.
was a joke between the FB controllers or something like that.
Yeah. Maybe it was demonic influence that happened. I don't know, but I mean, it was weird. I mean,
Yeah,
one point it was expanded, next minute it's active again.
yeah,
But because I really, you see, before I had the community tab, I mean, that was like my main source of letting people know about my streams using my social media. Now that I have a community tab, everyone that comes to my channel are aware of my upcoming programming.
yeah. I'm just gonna put some shorts on my page, with just containing my beautiful dog. And I'm just gonna put like make her famous part one and make her famous part two.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So like with the holidays coming up, of course, it's going to be snow. I know you're happy, Jose, and we got to get
Well,
prepared to get through this winter.
Well, they're talking about that finally we're going to be blessed with a slightly normal winter.
It's like,
Yeah,
yeah. Well, especially with this fall weather and everything, man. I'm not from NYC, but I'm gonna bring the old New York back, man. I got my Averex leather. I got my baseball caps, my Tims. So I'm gonna be going out during this fall and winter, man.
that's what's up.
Trying to look fly in there. I'm gonna bring 1998 New York back.
That's what's up. I always love to the Averex leathers and everything like that. Wonder if they
Well,
still sell Averex.
yeah. Oh, and I see Keisha is talking about, oh no, introvert political said, "Aye, here you go again with the cold." Come on, Ramon. Don't take away my fun. I mean, come
Or
on. We
yo,
have not had winter here in New York in years.
yo, Reese, he said there was several shootings in Philly. I guess I have to
That's why I think.
I guess I have to stay in tune with the news because out
Oh,
here is like shootings every day.
and I see Keisha is also not happy. No cool talk. Oh, come on,
But
guys.
I don't know about every like a lot of people. I don't get me wrong. I know it's a lot of us have gotten older. We're not really fans of the cold, but I still find things to do in the cold. Like even when it's cold out, I still go places and go do different things.
I try to for I might try to ski resort maybe in Vermont. I got to call one of my cousins for that.
Yeah, but and there's other ways that you can celebrate. If you choose to celebrate Halloween safely, is you have Halloween parties at home or in school.
Yep.
Because at least in home or in school, you have adults that's going to be there to supervise and make sure that no one does anything um, truly bizarre.
Right. Like at my job, they went up and they had they just gave us pizza and cupcakes. And it was alright, but I was there most of the pizza.
Yeah, yeah. That reminded me of school, man. That's how it used to be. I'm like, yeah. Them Halloween parties and all of the little school parties was lit.
I remember when I used to go to the Episcopal church in the Bronx, right? They always gave us some free burgers.
Hmm.
Yeah, but then
Yeah.
but then after a while, we just went up and played tag or whatsoever. So we just went up and took some more burgers at the time and whatsoever. So it just now you know we got older. Nobody really cares about Halloween. I mean, me personally, since I already found out and stuff, it's like Halloween's just like another day to me.
But you want to know what's the crazy thing? When they're talking about popular holidays, do you know Halloween is way above Father's Day?
Yeah,
That's
and you
weird.
and you know why? I guess in this country now, since there's a lot of deadbeat fathers and everything like that,
Yeah.
Father's Day is not really that celebrated because some some of these people who come from single parent homes, they don't know what a father is or whatsoever the case may be.
Yeah,
So
that's true. Let's welcome the introvert Boricua, and I want to let everybody know that he also has a YouTube channel. So I'm going to ask that if you have not done so, please subscribe to the introvert Boricua. Good evening, Ramon. Welcome to the Golden Spear.
Brrr. I'm already I'm already shivering. Don Jose, how you doing? Thanks for having
Uh,
me. What's going on, Armando? Rakim, what's happening?
nah,
uh,
ya tú sabes.
Okay. La de siempre, que la
Shout
que
out
hay.
to my boy Ramon.
Hey, Rakim, what's going on? I'm still recovering from your stream.
I know. I didn't mean for it to go that long.
well, I'm sorry. I watched. I was there for over 3 hours, and it's like, oh, I have to go to bed.
Yeah. I didn't mean. Next time it'll be cut down in half. Definitely. I think I probably won't be going no more than 3 hours at the most.
Okay.
Yeah. That was like a full day of work almost.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Because it kind of hit me because I had to go in the next day. I think I had to go in the next day to Wausau, Wisconsin.
Oh
So
my goodness.
Oh,
I
so
had to
all right. So you're a trucker?
yeah, that's my line of work. That's how I eat.
Hey, I wish I could be a trucker, but then first I have to learn how to drive.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
it's not hard. Once you get used to it, it's just like driving a big car. You just
okay,
gotta
but
swing. You gotta swing wide out.
Same for me because I don't know how to drive at all. So first I have to learn how to drive. So
okay,
Uh,
okay. Living in New York City, living in New York City your whole life, I can imagine you not knowing. But still, it's not too late. You can take some classes.
that's why I'm reading the book and everything like that. So at least I could be a productive driver and not be one of these. Well, let's just say this: in Philadelphia, you have a whole bunch of bad drivers. I kid you not. I was telling my sister, right, because she had a friend that passed away from cancer, right? But and
Mm.
she used to go back and forth just to be with this friend and everything like that before her untimely passing. So when she used to visit Philadelphia and everything like that, drive back from Philadelphia to New York, she was just saying, we were just talking like after the funeral of her friend of the bad driving that Philadelphia have. I was like, yo, sis, imagine people having the front torn off, their back torn off of their cars, and they driving like nothing. That's a hazard. And she was like, "Yo, that's straight from the horse's mouth." I was like, "I
Yeah.
live there." It's
Man, that
like
ain't nothing. I
it,
lived
it,
in the hood and seen somebody with no bottom in their car. No bottom. Like
no,
where you put your
that-
feet at.
I know. I
So
was,
it's like Fred Flintstone's car or something that you can stick your,
it's
you can stick your feet out from underneath. Oh man.
like, for
I-
example, right?
Mhm.
I was telling my homie from New York, right? I was like, as soon as I came to Philadelphia, I never seen a whole bunch of people with so messed up with so many messed up cars. It's not a joke. He was like, man, come on. You know, up in New York, people got messed up cars. I was like, not like Philly, bro. Maybe it's just me because I was a walker, but most of the cars that I'm seeing, people were actually responsible drivers, and you might have seen car crashes and stuff, but it wasn't to the point that glass was still there and everything like that. In Philly, you still see like um when there's a crash, like bumpers still in the lawn or something like that, 3 or 4 days or something like that. It's like their accident recovery or whatever the case may be actually sucks. In New York, they actually pick everything up.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, the topic was tonight is why I don't observe Halloween. So I just gave some reason why I don't, and we just spent the last few minutes discussing. If you are going to observe Halloween, do it safely.
Hmm. No. I mean, growing up, I was never taking trick or treating actually, but that may be because in the old neighborhood that I was growing up. It may have been okay at first when I was a kid, but later on, it just wasn't very safe to do that. So
I was
I
just
was
saying the
never,
same thing. I was just
yeah,
saying the
yeah, yeah.
same thing.
It was never really safe. A great neighborhood, but it was next to the project, so it wasn't very safe to go trick or treating because you don't know what what crew or what corillo as we call them you were gonna meet out there, and it could be a problem. So so I was never taking trick or treating. I don't miss it. I mean, because I never did it. And there are people that don't want to do it because of religious reasons, and that's perfectly fine. But I see it for what it is. It's just an excuse for people to eat candy, and and they make a party out of it, and I think that's perfectly fine. I mean, a reason to have a good time, but responsibly, of course. I mean, but there are people that will go on and tell you that that's of the devil, and is it?
Uh,
Not necessarily, but it does have a kind of like pagan roots to it. That's not necessarily of the devil.
actually,
Mhm.
my name for Halloween is Satan Glorification Day.
No, your name for Halloween should be Mr. Freeze because that's who you are. That's you.
Nah,
Me?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
no.
You should dress up as Mr. Freeze for a Halloween party. Hmm.
Oh,
Hell
come
yeah.
on now. You know, here in New York, we haven't experienced winter
Better
in
yet,
years.
the Arnold Schwarzenegger Mr. Freeze in that Batman movie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hey,
That's you.
you want to know something? That was the only time Arnold Schwarzenegger ever played a bad guy. Let's keep it real.
Yeah.
From
Everybody get down, get to the chopper.
oh, that's good. That's good.
Okay. Oh, look what Reese has just said. My homie can't start his car by himself. He needs two people.
No, man.
Damn.
No, that's
Yeah.
insane.
Gonna have to go ahead and send that over into for parts. Put that on in
But
the
you,
junkyard.
but you know something? Before the season's over, I gotta do a stream regarding my favorite season.
Yeah,
Your
you got.
favorite season? You mean the winter, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I mean, think of all the fun that you can have.
I don't know about that.
I mean, you can go ice skating. You can build snow castles. You can have snowball fights. And
Man, if no, but the thing is though, if New York City snowed enough, I could just train some huskies and just ride through the city. I
okay,
mean, I've been wanting to do that ever since I don't know. I think it's that movie Balto or something like that I seen as a kid or something.
okay,
Yeah, Balto the Snow Dog. I think it was in Disney's back in the day. So ever since then, I've always had like a fascination with huskies and the winter because I heard they make great sled dogs.
okay. I don't know, Ramon. This is what you're trying to share, or maybe something.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah. I was trying to share something. Apparently, that it didn't come up. Oh, I see.
Uh, Let me try again. Okay. Oops. Okay. Let's let's try. Okay. Look like something else came up. I don't know why, but think about it. You can lie down on the ground and make snow angels. I mean, that's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I see. Look, Reese says that I will be the Night King.
I'm gonna just say this: I'm too much of a grown ass man to be laying down making snow angels, Jose. But yeah, that's good for the kids.
No. Yeah, that's not. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. That snow could be all pissed on and walked on and shed on by dogs. And are you really
Not,
you want to lie down in that? No.
not better yet. It's funny. It's funny when there's like a cold dog turd right there, and then it blankets in winter. The next thing you know, you step on it. You step on it. You walk home. Then your mom's mad at you because you're like, why the heck you bought crap in my house? And then you have to put papers on your boots and everything like that.
I remember what was cool, like walking home in the snow. Us as kids coming from school, when we used to see people's like foot imprint, we'd be able to tell who had what shoes on. When people before us, I'm like, oh man, this dude got the Jordan 11s on. Oh, that dude wearing Timberlands. This dude got Air Force Ones. We used to when we was kids.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, anyway, I'm looking forward to the first day of winter, as you can tell.
Yeah, yeah. Like you know what, it's gonna go past before we know it. Before we know it, it'll be March, and then the snow will be melting, and then we'll be going into those spring months, and then fall. But my boy Ramon, he don't have to worry about that. I think Texas and Florida would be the closest thing he'll be getting to island weather here in the states.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm okay.
Yeah, I was trying to share something, but it's not coming up. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So
No, it may not be you. It may. Okay,
yeah, maybe I don't have the permission or something.
okay. I need to stop because it's messing. It's hello.
Yeah. Yeah, we're here.
Okay, can anyone hear me?
Yeah, we
Okay.
can hear you. We can hear you, Jose.
Uh-oh. It's just starting.
Um,
Okay, something with your device, Jose? You need to have somebody take
yeah,
a
it
look at
could
that.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Don Armando was trying to log on. Get on. The link is there, Don Armando. Um, but
Yeah, come
the
back, come
fact
back.
that
Mhm.
yeah, like I said before, if you choose to observe Halloween, that's perfectly fine. the main thing is to do it safely.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
No, definitely, because it's no, it can be, yeah, it can be a little iffy out there, especially you're out there with the kids and all. It's not necessarily completely safe in the neighborhood and all of that. So might as well just go to like a Halloween party at a location or something, have a good time there, and you might get some candy anyway. But yeah.
Yeah.
Hell, Halloween is not a real tradition. It's something that, okay, one can do it for the candy for the kids, and that's fine. But you have to watch out. I mean,
Yeah. And sometimes some of the costumes that people wear, I mean, it's really bordering on the bizarre.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't even remember. I mean, I haven't worn a costume, maybe 35, 40 years. That kind of gives you an idea how old I am.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. Yeah.
So,
Man, I don't think I celebrated a Halloween since 2001. Like I've went anywhere. Like, damn, that was 21 years ago, wasn't it? Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while. Before I was coming on, I was gonna call myself the racist Latino. That's what we seem to be getting called that out there, and maybe now it's gonna make.
Yeah, I mean, don't you know, Ramon? We're white supremacists.
Yeah, well, especially us Puerto Ricans. We're so white supremacists. I mean, we're some white supremacists that a certain YouTube, that guy, Black Skin is amazing. He was putting up videos of bomba dancing in Puerto Rico. I mean, I was supposed to be ashamed of that, and I was like, okay, it's great that you're propping up my culture. It was
bomba dancing is a big part of Puerto Rican culture.
And the thing is that stemmed from the whole argument about Puerto Ricans not being part of hip hop. and he was using one of the videos from bomba dancing in Puerto Rico as like proof that we couldn't have been part of hip hop because we do something else, and he's showing people dancing to drums. I mean, like, hip hop has nothing to do with drums or something. Like, okay, he's not seeing the parallel there.
No,
like,
hip hop has made everything to do with drums and
different
things like that. And because one thing I'm noticing is no rationale. Like I say, by term. This is by term. I consider myself ADOS FBA. Like, as far as the term, as far as what's going on with some of these people, I don't agree with some of the things that's been said. Do I have my gripes about some of the people from different groups that I've seen online that has been kind of racist and has said, trash remarks? Yes, I do. But I'm not quick to overshadow a whole group of people and put that on a whole group of people. It's just certain people can't rationalize, and it don't matter what group. People have their prejudices. And with the way that this YouTube platform is now, is that a lot of people just want to be entertained with foolishness. They like anyway, they don't care if it's right or wrong. They're not trying to get to a solution of a problem. These are people that just want to sit in their house, probably bills are past due, don't know what they're going to do, and they just enjoy being toxic online. Or some people can even be saying certain things on here that they really don't believe. They like, I'm just saying it to trigger somebody.
Yeah. There is something else that he was saying that I find that just unbelievable. As you know, and you correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, during slavery, there was a kind of like a thing that they were doing with the slaves, that they will take the stronger ones and they will have them breed.
Yes, that was chattel slavery here in the United States. I'm not sure if they had that in the islands or in South America.
It was like that extreme. I don't think it was like that extreme, because we don't have kind of like when it comes to
Yeah.
looks and composition and the way that they look, it's not the same thing. So I don't think it was like that.
Yeah, I don't believe they had chattel in the islands, but once the because at that particular time, but slavery wasn't banned in the islands, so I think they kept importing more. But here in the United States, at one point, I believe that when they banned it, they knew that they could not, import more, so they started breeding their own.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm gonna tell you why I bring that up. I mean, it's fucked up. It's unfortunate. It's revolting. It's disgusting. But for some reason, this guy, Black Skin, is amazing. Actually thinks that that's a flex. What I mean with that is that being created that way is a flex because that gave birth to stronger genes and stronger abilities when it comes to sports and things like that. And this is something that he is actually bragging about.
It's nothing to brag about. It's nothing to brag about.
He says that with this pride, and he says that makes Black America ADOS, as he calls himself. He strikes me more as an FBA because he's talking shit about us Hispanics, and he's bragging about it, and he calls Black Americans that were forced bred as majestic, and he says that with this pride. And like, dude, being created by forced breeding is not a flex? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah,
and he bragged about it. And I'm like, wow. And he calls me delusional because I said that there are Puerto Ricans that were part of hip hop from the beginning. Did I say that we created it? No, that's not what I'm saying. But I am saying that there were the diasporas that were there from the very beginning. And he's arguing no.
But see, he wouldn't know that because he's not from New York City. And first and second and foremost, it was pretty evident, at least in the late 70s, early 80s, that Puerto Ricans was there. We saw it in Crush Groove. We saw it in Wild Style. We saw it in what's the other Beat Street. We saw it. It was there. And a lot of the rhythms that is used in salsa and bomba was implemented in a lot of the breakdancing moves that Boricuas did in New York City. So it's you can't deny that. No, we're not saying creation, but contributions being a part in the beginning, they was there, especially when you got into the early to mid 80s. Same thing with Jamaicans. It was very prominent Caribbean people being there.
And
KRS-One rapped in a patois. In patois.
Yeah, the KRS-One, Grandmaster Flash. I understand he has a Caribbean background. There are a couple of others.
Dougie Fresh. He can't.
Slick Rick.
He's Jamaican. Slick Rick is Jamaican.
They have a Caribbean background, so that whole notion that the Jamaicans or Caribbeans have nothing to do with it is garbage. Because that is the proof there. I mean,
Grandmaster Cass, his DJ, I forgot his name. Puerto Rican.
This guy,
Puerto Rican.
This guy was bringing up Cass, and he kept playing that little part on the interview with Vlad, going on and on, talking about that we were guests. Okay, he said that back then, but he later on came up with a statement making a correction. I mean, the thing is like,
and with that statement, I do believe that was true what he said in the beginning. I think he might have changed it because of not really wanting to mess with his money, but the guy who was Bordy, that was his DJ, said the same thing that he said in the interview. He said it was people that didn't agree with that, but it was people that was participating in it as well. So.
No, of course, there were people that didn't like it back then. I understand that. I'm not saying that didn't happen. That there were on both sides, on the Black American side and on the Puerto Rican side of that time. Some of the people didn't agree with that. They didn't like that. Okay, that's fine. I'm not saying that didn't happen, but later on that changed. that change with the
Yeah,
new
yeah.
kind of like with the following generation, the
Yeah.
video one that started to change.
Especially when the '80s. Well, I mean, when it was the '80s, you can't. And it's another it's other Boricuas that I'm forgetting by name that were rapping. Everybody knows about Marky D of the Fat Boys, though, who was from Bushwick. He was from Bushwick, Brooklyn, and it's a couple of more guys. And of course, in the graffiti culture and different things like that, which was what Wild Style was about. So
No, but the thing what I'm trying to say is that you can check out the video yourself. You can go to this page. If he hasn't taken the live down, I'm in the chat kind of like telling him, dude, that's not a flex. That whole thing about the breeding, being bred, that doesn't make it majestic. That's not, I mean, I didn't want to go straight out and say, look, I mean, you were treated like a beast of burden, your ancestors. Like, don't
like I would never sit there. I understand, it's truth to it, but I don't sit there and celebrate being bred or my ancestors being bred and and served at and sold at a slave auction like we was oxes. I don't. It's nothing. It's nothing to be.
That's what I was trying to tell you.
Proud of, and it also kind of put bronze over being intelligent, and that's not cool.
Right.
Excuse me, but actually in Radical's last stream, there was this dude that kept going back and forth talking about that we are all racist and we're all into white supremacy. But the crazy part, he had a father figure who was a Latino.
His stepfather was Puerto Rican. He had a Puerto Rican stepfather. Not his real dad. A Puerto Rican stepfather took care of him and raised him to be a man, and he still grows up to talk shit about us. How do you like that? Like that? No.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Fucked up.
The thing is, like, I understood some of the points that he was making, not with that in that particular statement, but the way he was articulating himself. But yeah, he said he's like, I still love my stepdad too. My stepdad, took care of me. I love my stepdad. But one thing I can't say is that, like I say, I don't agree with a lot of this stuff. I don't agree with this group think mentality. But I have said, due to the time that I have been on here, I have ran past quite a bit of racist people in other groups, and some of them try to use undertones with it. Some of them are, some of them are worse than others. But I can understand, because I'm not going to lie, I felt some type of way with certain people. But and I know how a lot of my people react towards things. Sometimes us as a group of people, we can get highly emotional, and I know if they catch wind of certain things. And not to defend Tariq Nasheed, I really don't know much about Tariq. I've seen a couple of his videos. One thing I can say is that with these videos, he is finding information or putting things out there of, no different than the Nuri Martinez situation and other people that just been saying really, really foul stuff when it comes to Black Americans. So I can understand it being a pushback, but you have to be able to differentiate between different people. It's a lot of people that don't have an issue with African Americans, so treat them as such. Don't look for, just because somebody is of Latin descent or Caribbean descent or African descent, be ready to pounce because you have this prejudice where you're just going to put forth that energy because you're attacking somebody that don't have anything to do with the next man's thoughts.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. No, I mean the whole thing about that lady out in California, that's really something else, and I don't know anything about the racial tensions that are going on over there.
No,
she said what she said. She needs to go. She already had to step down.
Yeah, and it wasn't even that. It was the fact that, of course, she was trying to find a way to reallocate resources that, that Los Angeles community, to need it. So she was trying to take away resources from that
Mhm.
particular community to redistrict the area so more resources can go into the Latin community and less of the resources can go into that black community in LA. And the Latino population compared to the black population in Los Angeles is already 10-1. That's unfair. And then on top of it, you know, you look at the homeless out there in Los Angeles, I believe 67% of the homeless are black people
Mm.
as it is. I don't think that was right. Apart from what she said, nobody really cares like what you said. But when you get to the resources and the money, then that's a different. Then that's a
Mhm.
different ball game. And because just the things that I've seen online too, people, you know, I'm not, you know, trying to disrespect any group, anything like that. But the fact that it was a war, people, we have to start a war against the black Americans simply because they call us black or they want us to identify as black. Now, I can understand it's a cultural mentality thing coming from the islands to the United States because the concept of race is different or the concept of ethnicity is different. And I don't think a lot of black people meant harm doing that, especially, you see people that share similar facial features with you that speak,
Mhm.
Spanish or speak a different language. It's just that the way that the United States work is something different. But a lot of
Yeah.
people had racist undertones even with that, or would say it in a negative way, like, oh no, I'm not black. I can like that would cause definitely like, what do you mean? Like, I mean, what do you what I understand that you don't want to identify, but why would you have to say it like that? Like it's the worst thing on earth, and it was a lot of things that I've seen, and that was before I started seeing this whole FBA thing. And I think that I can understand it being pushed back, but you don't put everybody in that particular pot.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
No, of
I
course.
think I think the best thing, whether it be um, people like Ramon and myself or Latinos who are melanated, so simply state that they're Latino, okay?
Yeah,
Because
and
I
I've
mean,
seen you, I've seen Ramon, I've seen you guys call out this behavior numerous times, and
No,
call out, and you
and I
guys
already.
don't stand for that at all. I think it's time for us to have an understanding that when it comes to the islands, people identify differently, especially when you talk about the Spanish Antilles with the mixture of European, Taino, and African ancestry. It's just is it's a different ball game compared to the United States. And if if you have other people in the Caribbean from the West Indies that would like to identify as their own ethnic group, that's fine. That's okay. That's fine. But and just leave it at that.
no.
Yeah.
And another thing people need to understand that Latinos from the Caribbean area are different compared to Latinos in Central and South America because our histories are different, our life
Yeah. It's
experiences
it's
are.
it's it's you know what it is, Jose? It's that simplistic way of thinking because all of these groups speak Spanish, then it's the same, but it's not. It's different. It's different at cultural. It's different cultural things between other groups, and it's different makeups when it comes to other groups.
Yeah.
So people need to but people are not really educated on Latin America like that. There's a lot of people that are not educated. I took the time to learn myself. I can remember at 18 reading about Spain in general, just
Mm.
the history of Spain and finding out about the language of the Catalan language and the Castilian language and like how they were occupied by the Moors and how they took what they learned in wars in Europe and pretty much took that mentality to conquer South America and the Caribbean and different things like that. I took time to learn because I'm real big on history. It's just a lot of people that don't know history, whether it be from their own group or different groups either. So I always take that into accountability because it's just people that don't know much. They have a lot to say, but they don't know much what they're talking about.
Yeah. Because sometimes they're going by rhetoric and not they're not going by facts. There are many people that believe what somebody else tells them, and they don't do their own thinking. They don't do their own reading, and they just run with whatever they hear from someone else, and they take it for face value, and they don't realize that there could be some truth, but there could be something deceiving. I mean, there could be a misinformation mixed in with some facts, and sometimes folks do need to take time to get to read find out the information, not necessarily from Wikipedia, because Wikipedia can be kind of like an initial reference, but go by the list of reference that are usually listed at the bottom of the page, and go from there and kind of like dig deep. So these persons can have a better understanding, because if they go by what somebody else tell them, they're just going to be regurgitating. They're going to be parroting what somebody else said, and there could be truth, but there could be garbage mixed in with the truth, and might as well try to get the most most factual based statements or history or information that one can find out. I mean, it's like okay, I mean, that like what this guy was saying, like we are so racist because it's part of our culture. Okay, but why will he have a Puerto Rican stepfather if we're so racist by nature? Because it's our culture to be racist towards Afro descendants. That doesn't make any sense. I mean,
And
but you can look at all of the videos of the bomba dances and what these people look like.
it's very strong African. It's very strong African influence.
Yeah, but we're so racist. These people wouldn't exist.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be there if that were true. So,
But
so
see,
what?
but another thing too is like what I said, it don't really even matter the group, because I went on a previous live stream and I had this conversation with people within my own group about this whole just pearly things situation. And
Oh, yeah.
I'm just like people
Mhm.
just don't, if it's not what they don't want to hear, you automatically get attacked.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like you automatically get attacked, and people just have this, end all be all mindset. I'm like, if you're gonna allow your stupidity or your ignorance to keep you in the dark, then so be it. Don't. And I'm like, and these guys is getting dictated by the women on this panel, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
bro, and you this, and one of
Okay,
the
but
guys, he on
which panel are you talking about?
Q Butters.
Ah, okay, okay. No, no, because I mean that is the whole. Yeah. For the last few days, the talk of YouTube. One of the big things about YouTube has been talking about this whole thing with pearly things. I mean, and I have been aware of her for some time, and she's been doing kind of like reaction videos at first for like the past 2 years, but it's been in the last few months when she started doing the kind of her podcast, kind of like the a format just like Fresh and Fit, but she does kind of like dating and relationships. That's what she does. She does dating and relationships. I don't watch the long podcast because they're hours long, but I try to check out a lot of the clips because she has a whole separate channel for clips, and I checked out the clips, and they're actually pretty good. And the thing is that it seems that a lot of the guests that join her panel, that join her show, happen to be Afro descendants. And the thing is that she's in London, so she's dealing with Afro descendants from like different nationalities, or maybe they are Londonese, but maybe their ancestors, their parents are from Africa, or maybe from the
Yeah,
Caribbean.
Africa and
And
the Caribbean, and the thing is, I don't understand with these simps, man. Oh man, these women are not going to respect you, man. I don't know what else to say or what else how else to put it, because they're talking about gatekeeping and keeping this conversation amongst us. How you going to do that? How you going to do that when you can't even have honest conversation? I'm sitting here trying to speak, and we trying to speak in an honest way of even blame on the men and the women, and all I'm getting is a bunch of pushback that it's the women, or you can't say what has been done to a woman has been done. So You just decided, like, I told this, I'm like, sweetheart, I wasn't in the bed with you, okay? I wasn't in the bed with you. I wasn't there. So how do I have the responsibility for somebody that you decided to deal with, and you
Yeah.
knew more than likely, it's just
Um,
that's why I say it's the ignorance, man. It's the ignorance that'll
Oh, no,
have your
it
brain drained.
can happen. It can
excuse me,
happen when it
excuse me.
uh
But excuse me, but Rakeem, you are a male, so you're automatically it's your responsibility. Okay, don't you know that?
yeah. Because you have a Y chromosome, then it's your fault. Whatever happened to that woman is your fault because you have a Y chromosome.
Exactly.
Automatically.
A woman can. A woman could be a 3 or 4, have like 300 men, and have like 5 baby daddies, but yet it's Joaquin's fault. Don't you know that?
Yeah, because she wasn't protected. Because she wasn't protected or provided for. I mean, it becomes his fault. I feel for you, Rakim. I mean, and the thing is that that's not even restricted to one demographic, because you can find channels in which there are these white women that are also, to a degree, not as bad, but to a degree they do.
And I had to tell this guy, man, because this guy be
Yeah.
irking my nerves with this, dude. I had to tell this dude. I'm like, bro, are we just gonna ignore that Cynthia G brought a racist on and regurgitate our talking points, and women like these these ebony neo-Nazis to regurgitate, like he's like, oh well, I and then it goes from, even though people did some foul crap, then it goes to even both men and women shouldn't be doing. I'm like, see, you can't be honest. You can't be honest. You just can't be honest, and it's hysterical to me. Like a lot of these channels on here, it's to push a narrative. Nobody really want to have an honest conversation because there's no money in having an honest conversation.
Well,
Oh yeah. We gotta keep those super chats and cash apps coming in. So
Yeah.
they have to do drama. Yeah.
Rakeem, when you look earlier this year, I did a stream. I did a series regarding the difference between Latinos that were born outside the United States compared to those that were born inside. And part of the reason why, and it was completely in Spanish, and the reason for that, they try to bridge some sort of understanding, because the fact of the matter is, even though technically we're both Puerto Rican, we both have different experiences, because Ramon was born and raised on the island. I was born and raised in the mainland. So our experiences are going to be different.
Yeah, like I never had to deal with cold.
Yeah.
First of all, we have not had any cold weather in New York.
But
We had not one day when the temperature reached 0. We had not had too many days when the days got to single digits. So come on.
And like, you know what? I know I love Puerto Rican food, but I already know it's probably way different on the island than it is here.
It's better. It's much better.
No.
For whatever reason, I have tried like a mofongo or a capurria, and maybe here in the States, it tastes rather bland. I mean, you have to get it on the island. That's what it tastes good. I mean, I have tried a mofongo a few times in a couple of places, and the places are run by Puerto Ricans, but for some reason, it just doesn't taste the same. I mean, you have to be on the island and try the food on the island. It's superior. It's so much better. Yeah.
You be like, where did y'all get these plantains from? McDonald's?
Yeah. The ingredients, I mean, the taste is not as good. It's never, ever as good as on the island. Even oatmeal. You go to like a bakery because there are many bakeries that will have oatmeal that you can get in the morning. The oatmeal on the island is the best oatmeal in the world. The way it is made down there, just the oatmeal, Puerto Rican style is the best oatmeal.
Ramon, do you know what you causing me to think of doing? Eating apple pudia with peanut butter or with ranch dressing.
you saying that made me gag. Like, come on, Jose, what the fuck? That's heresy. That's heresy. How dare you put peanut butter on an alcaporria? I mean, that's the most that you could use is kind of like dip the dip the alcaporria with a little bit of mayo ketchup or something. Maybe that, but that's it. That's it. No, the peanut butter. What the hell?
You know, I might do that on my stream one day just for fun.
No. It's gonna make me nauseous. Put peanut butter on a alcaporria. What the hell?
Or maybe ranch dressing.
Don Jose, that's for salads. You know that. Put ranch dressing where it belongs, which is what the salad. So don't do that. Don't do that to like a alcaporria or definitely not a pastel. Don't be. Come on, people. I'm appalled that there are people that will put ketchup on a pastel. You don't know.
Well, if people put ketchup on a pastel, then they can easily put peanut butter, or they could put.
No, you're trying to Americanize. Don't Americanize the pastel and the alcaporria. What the hell?
Actually, you know what? I might create a new trend.
Yeah.
No. Try to create any trend. I don't want to see.
Don't do that, man. Don't do that.
Oh, no. That's too.
If it was having any tension between stateside Boricuas and island Boricuas, you would start.
No, it's gonna. Oh, I don't want us to have beef with you. I don't want the Highlanders to be beef with the diasporas because they're doing such nonsense.
I mean, think about it. We could create a brand new style of our cuisine.
See, you starting that beef, Jose. You're not letting it go.
Come on now. Don't do that. I know that going up there and taking all that cold in got you not thinking right, but no. You need to get warmed and so you can get your mind right. You're supposed to be warm.
What cold? We haven't had a cold day in New York in years.
Yeah, I'm sure the temperature is like in the 60, 50, something like that. That's cold. That's already chilly.
No, that's summertime.
No. Summertime would be 90, 95 degrees. That's summertime. That would be perfect.
That's near fader. Could you imagine if I could control the weather worldwide?
No, don't control it because it's gonna be like that movie, The Day After Tomorrow. Yeah, it's gonna be like Day After Tomorrow. That will be our world if we go by you. Hell.
I mean, think about it. Texas could be kind of huge ski resort.
No thanks. Leave Texas the way it is. I mean, don't New York, Texas.
You know what? It'll be revenge for all the people that they send it to New York.
No, but there are people that from different parts of the country that are showing up in Texas. Many Californians.
You know what? That movie was kind of. You know what? I noticed that when we get older, movies like that is what I like to call realistic horror movies, because that's stuff that can, like, if that happened, you would be like, man, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do.
Yeah, that would be scary. Because you think that could never happen, but if there is like a serious, drastic climate change, there's something like Day After Tomorrow.
Remember that part when he warned them not to go out there, that he was going to be back to come and get those people? And I think they just went out there anyway, and by the time he got back, they was like frozen walking, like standing in one. I was like, damn. Also, like I was having a conversation with my boy the other day. You know, they say you shouldn't eat before going to sleep. I have a habit of like.
Oh no, you shouldn't. You shouldn't do that because you could get indigestion. I hear say that they could give you nightmares. I've never.
It did give me nightmares, and I told him I was like, man, bro, it's the difference between adult nightmares and child nightmares. As a child, you was like worried about Michael Myers and it. I was like, man, I was having fucking adult nightmares, like worried that like my house got foreclosed on and I didn't know how I was going to pay.
Oh, okay,
I was
okay.
like, I
No,
was
no,
like,
the one, the nightmare that I've had a few times, that I know that I had a few times, is one that psychologists are very familiar with, which is that you find all of a sudden you find yourself in public and you're naked, and there is a whole bunch of people around you and you're naked. I've had that it's always scary and embarrassing and all of that, but I've had it a few times, and I understand that the psychology is a common dream or nightmare, if you want to see it that way. And I understand that psychologists actually have a definition for it, that it means something. To me, I kind of know what it means, because it's kind of like being afraid of being exposed and being vulnerable to other people. I think that's what it means. But I've had that a few times where I'm on a public location with people around me and I'm naked. And I'm all embarrassed, but the people around me don't really notice it and don't say anything. They see me that I'm naked, but I'm so embarrassed, but the people don't say anything. I don't recall the people in my dream saying anything.
that's crazy, man, because that's like the Matrix or something.
Yeah.
After I woke up, I was all jittery because I was just like, damn, I really had a bad dream that my house got foreclosed on.
Shit.
My house got foreclosed on, and I lost everything. And I like when I woke up, you know, like your eyes blink for a little bit. I woke up, I'm like, am I in my house? Is this real?
Yeah. Because you're feeling all lost, and then all of a sudden you open your eyes and you realize that you didn't lose anything or nothing actually happened. But maybe that's because of a fear that you have. Maybe
I was shook. I was all jittery, like, oh man, I was about to be kicking it on Well Street with the rest of the bums under a barrel fight.
No, but kind of pay attention to that, because that could be that maybe you don't realize it, but maybe it's because of a fear that you have that of losing what you got. I mean, you have your own. You're a homeowner, and that's something that you don't want it to change. You don't want to lose that. And we're living right now in kind of like a recession. Things are getting worse, and there are people that are actually losing their homes, that are actually getting foreclosed. And maybe you have a fear that you don't want that to happen to you. So
because I feel like, you know, a lot of us are well aware that we speak on this stuff, but it's a lot of people online. Like, I don't know where people are getting these fantasies from in their mind of all of this luxurious life, when the country is really we're really headed towards a recession right now.
No, we're already in it, because I was talking to my financial advisor, and I mentioned that about the recession, an upcoming recession, and he told me, no, we are already in a recession. We're already in it. And so he corrected me on that really quick, because he works on all of that, and he sees things that have to do with tendencies when it comes to investing and things like that. And he told me, no, we're on a recession.
Because I watched Chantel Simone's channel, and a couple, you know how she had the guys up there, Ramon. Yeah. And it was just that, like, they was just like, you know, and people think we're just going overseas, you know, for women. He was like, me personally, I studied the culture. What's up? The future is golden. I studied the culture of Colombia, and, you know, the culture of you know, parts of Latin America for a long time. And he like, I've, you know, packed up a lot. I still got investments in the States, but a lot of us too are leaving because of the economic recession here. And, you know, he was like, some of these women don't really know what's to come.
And, no, there are some of them that have this kind of like this luxury life demands that they want from men and all of that. But that's basically because there are some of these women that want to live in a bubble. They want to live in a bubble where they get to sit down and not do shit, and because they want to quote unquote rest in their femininity. Some of them, and they don't understand that what they're really saying is that they just want to be able to sit down and not do shit. But they want, yeah, they're asking a lot, and they don't bring anything. They don't bring anything of value to the relationship. I'm not even mentioning the whole table thing, because apparently the word table is a trigger word now. But there are some of these women that demand a lot, but they don't bring anything. They don't bring anything of value. Nothing at all. So why would a man of value want to be with somebody who doesn't bring anything of value? Hey, Future, what's going on? So that's kind of how that's what I see. That's the impression that I'm getting, and the thing is that
Because this idea of that, like, because I saw the video with and you know what, it's such a waste, man. That's the thing, I'm gonna be honest, it's such a waste, because you look at some of these women, you be like, God damn, that woman is gorgeous, damn, that woman is fine, but the mentality just throws
yeah.
you off. It just throws you off. Like, I was watching what's her name, Kendra G. And I'm like Kendra G is fine, but I'm like, you got this mentality
Yeah.
of you got this kind of like feminist mentality and different things like that. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, like, that's not gonna nobody's gonna like that.
Mhm.
And she had this woman on there. She was like, so what do you think a man should make? This woman has had the nerve to say $300,000. I'm like, what small percentage of men makes that?
Yeah. It's
I'm like, what are y'all watching?
that's the very top, 1-2% or something like that make that much money per year. But my guess
Those are
will
like, you only gonna find these men living downtown Dallas, like,
no,
or like like
no.
downtown Chicago, or in downtown New York, or on the outskirts or something like that. These men, they think like these men are just walking around, like you can
Yeah.
pick these men like off. I'm like, what are you talking about? That's like the top 1%, and we know, like the top percentage of people that has wealth in this country are squeezing, are holding on to it. They become greedy, and they're still squeezing the work.
Oh,
Okay, excuse me. I just want. Okay, can anyone hear?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, we just love. Okay, I just want to acknowledge the fact the future is golden is in the chat, and I want to let everybody know that she also has a YouTube channel. So I'm gonna ask that if you have not done so, please subscribe to her channel. I've been blessed to be on a platform a couple of times, and she does bring in a lot of quality content. And I just want to say thank you, Future, for stopping by.
Yeah, you can hit the link too if you want, right?
Yeah, sure. If she
Yeah.
wishes.
Yeah. I mean, if you
Looks
like,
like we
you can hit
lost
the.
the 18th one.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
well, we'll give it a chance if she wants to
Yeah.
come back. Mhm.
Yeah, you're welcome, Future. But it's just that some of these people, yeah, the income level is very rare indeed. But
Yeah.
I see she's eating dinner. Okay.
Yeah, actually, I'm not gonna be staying too much longer because I gotta eat myself.
Well, I'm gonna start to wrap this up in a few minutes. Um, I just wanted to make sure that I did the stream tonight. Now, actually, I understand that not everyone feels the way I do regarding Halloween, and that's
Mhm.
perfectly fine. Okay, the whole point of the stream was to have a discussion between those who do observe Halloween and those who do not. Okay, the whole point is this: if you're going to observe Halloween, do it safely.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So unless anyone else joins the panel, I'm gonna wrap this up because it's just that I wasn't planning to do like a 5-hour stream or a 3-hour stream, but I do appreciate the fact that 6 people are currently watching the stream, and I just want to say thank you very much. Just make sure that you please hit that like button, okay? And and if you feel a little bit generous, hit me up with my Cash App, which is $cute1NY. That's $cute1NY, because no one has even given me one donation. So hopefully at some point before the year is over, someone will hit me up with a Cash App.
Sí, un aguinaldo. Yeah. A little something. Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a big. It could be $1 for all I care. I mean, hey,
That's right. Hit the like.
Yes,
like
that's right. Thank you very much. Now, the fact of the matter is, I like I said before, I happen to be on her platform, and she's a very articulate young lady. She does discuss a lot of issues as it pertains to biracial, multiracial community. And I think we're gonna let's see if we can bring in Rakeem back. Okay.
Yeah, unknown forces kicked me out, but I can't be stopped.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You're on the road.
No. I'm getting ready to actually go on the road within the next hour or so. But yeah,
okay.
I just wanted to.
Yeah,
I just wanted to clean up that statement and everything. I'm on my way to. Damn, where am I going? My mind is fried. Toma, Wisconsin.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay.
Wisconsin.
Yeah. Wow. You're damn. You're having to get on the road like that at this time of night. I thought that you were off. I thought you were off tonight.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason why I'm even home right now because I lucked up and caught a load coming back to the Chicago area, and that's when you're able to come home, then you just go home and then you return back to the terminal. So that's what I did.
Okay. I see.
Well, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to start to take some closing remarks. Okay, so now we're going to go to the latest member of the Golden Spear, who loves cold water, who wants to be buried in snow. He wants to go outside and in the subway with its pants off and wants to sit for hours on New Year's Eve. The introvert, Boricua.
Oh, thank you, Jose. But no, I don't want that. I don't want all that cold. I'm definitely not gonna be stepping out in the middle of the cold with my pants off. Hell no, I don't want to. I value what's down there. I have to value it. If I don't do it, nobody will. So I don't want. I'm not trying to catch a cold that way. But I appreciate you letting me on your panel. I know that I came in a little later. I mean, I was distracted with something else. But I appreciate you letting me on your panel and giving me a chance to have a say. And that's when it comes to the whole thing about Halloween. Whoever wants to go trick or treating, do it. It might be preferable to just go to a party, to kind of like a Halloween party, have a good time in a safe location, because trick or treating is not what it used to be. It's not that safe. So, but aside from that, not much else I got. Once again, appreciate it, Don Jose. Shout out to my guy Rakeem, and let's see when we can do a collaboration soon. Because there is a certain subject that we have in common that is of a common interest. So maybe we can do something about that, because since there have been developments when it comes to the issues that have to do with the Second Amendment, and there have been some new developments, but I have to look into it closely so I bring myself up to speed on that. So maybe we can do
Absolutely.
a collaboration when it comes to that subject that you, as you know, it is of interest to me, and I know that it is of interest to you. So maybe we can
Absolutely.
co-host another stream like the very first stream that I ever did, so, because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. So maybe we can do something soon.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I want to let everybody know I'm going to be live on Wednesday at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, which is 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. And the topic is going to be what are the most common reasons why people don't vote? So it's going to be another issue of unpopular beliefs. So now
Yeah.
we're going to go to the other member of the Golden Spear who wants to go skinny dipping in the river in Chicago in the middle
Oh,
of
there.
who loves cold and his desire is to be buried in snow. The 18th letter.
Yeah, like I'm just stuck over here, Jose. I'm not happy about it. I don't, I prefer something else, but I'm just stuck here right now. I'm cold off of Martin when he went to go get the pizza. But yeah, like that'll be an interesting topic because people don't want to vote, man. Because people are sick of the games. People are sick of the games these politicians play. I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but one thing, we talk a lot, of the toxic people that the internet has exposed us to, but the internet has exposed us to a great deal of information that has exposed a lot of the lies that these politicians tell, and how, even though they're red and blue makes green. They're all on the same team at the end of the day. It's some people. You have to weigh your options with either parties. I'm definitely not leaning towards Democratic Party, but yeah, like a lot of people are just sick of playing the games with politics because what has shown us is that it don't seem like neither are really for the working class. Some just, you just got to see which direction either one going to and if that's even worth voting for. So that's all I got to say. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to my boy Ramon. Shout out to my YouTube dad, Jose Negron. I'm out, man. I got to get up and go make this money.
Okay.
Do your
Well,
thing. Do your thing.
well, I just want to say thank you to Reese from Philly. The future is golden. Isabella, Christina, Don Armando, and everybody else who made their presence felt in the chat. And I want to give a huge shout out to part of our inner circle, which is Ramon and the 18th letter. And the whole point regarding this this topic was it was meant to be a dialogue regarding
Oh, you got a. Can't hear you. All right, you too, Future and Reese. Shout out to you too because I didn't have a chance to say anything about that. You could have. Next time join. Next time join in. So I mean, because there seems to be a bit of a technical difficulty on behalf of Don Jose. I want to say, have a good one. Have a good night. Thanks for joining, for listening, pressing the like, commenting on the chat. Have a good one. Thank you so much. Don Jose, can you hear me? All right. In that case, I think I'm gonna be leaving it that like that. You're having some issues, Don Jose?
Yeah, it's all I can say is at some point I'm gonna be laughing all this off. Thank you, Future, and you too be safe. So getting back, the whole point was to have a discussion.
Yes.
Was never meant to argue, and all I'm saying is if you're going to observe Halloween, do it safely. It'll be preferable that you don't, but if you do it safely. That is the main thing. And I just want to say thank you very, very much. I'm going to be live on Wednesday at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And the topic is the most common reasons why we don't vote. And I just want to say thank you very much. And we're going to close the same way. Just give me a moment. That I always close, which is let's be good to one another and each other. And I say thank you very much. And by all means, feel free to comment after the stream. Just keep it respectful. That being said, this has been another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. And I want to wish everyone a blessed and safe night. Peace.
Be strong.